Your attention, please. And now, on with the show.
Live from Paradise Studios in New York, Strong Island Television presents Under the Radar, starring Randy Unger. Brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Tonight, Randy will be interviewing private chef to the stars, Rondeno. Randy will also be reviewing the new films, Trick and Dolomites Is My Name, with special guest critics Amanda Vasquez and Jennifer Covey. And now, here's your host, Randy Unger.
Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and welcome to another episode of Under the Radar, where we talk all things film. And right now I have on Skype private chef to the stars, Mr. Ryan Rondeno. Hey Ryan, how's it going?
Good, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Oh, no problem, thank you.
And happy early Halloween to everyone who sees me in my David S. Pumpkins getup. So, yeah, I'm curious, how did you get into this business of cooking for celebrities?
I got into it through a friend of mine. I was just looking for jobs at the time, living in Atlanta. And then, I stumbled upon a job in LA, which I didn't know at the time she put out the ad. So that's how we really connected and got me out here to LA.
Cool. So, who are some of the big names? Let's hear the list.
Well, Will Smith was one of them. Nice. That's one of the biggest names. Kevin Durant, Tyrese Common, Willie McGinnis. So those are some big names that I've actually had the chance to cook for exhibit as well. So those are, a nice list of some clients that I've cooked for.
Sure. And is it usually just like private dinner parties or like big events? Like what's the range there?
It's been a little bit of both. Some been private dinner parties, some been full-time. Well, Will Smith was a full-time gig. Like I said, Tyrese did some big events for him, CD release party, things like that. So, and even Common was his cook for his foundation and also cooked for a pre-Oscar dinner.
Oh, nice. What's a popular dish that they ask for typically?
It all varies. Yeah. Everyone varies. They'll still allow you to be true to yourself, but stay in the realm of what they like and they don't like. Mm-hmm. Some love seafood, some love some meat dishes, and some are vegetarian, vegan. So it just depends on what it is. So it's not necessarily one particular type of dish.
Right. So do you have a specialty, or are you kind of just like all over the place?
No, Cajun Creole is my specialty.
Okay. That's cool.
But, I like to be all over the place as well. Still learning new cuisines as well, whether it's Korean, French, Italian, things like that. So just really expanding my whole repertoire to really give them something unique.
Okay. Now, did you go to school? Did you get a formal training, or did you just kind of learn as you go?
No, I got formal training at Chef John Fo's Culinary Institute. Okay. So that was my foundation where it started. Mm-hmm. Then you worked at restaurants in New Orleans, a little bit in Atlanta. So that's where the foundation started, to where I ventured off into doing some private chef's work.
Okay. And now, is it just you, or do you have like a team under you? Like, how does that work?
With different events, I have a team under me, from chefs to servers to bartenders. So we collectively come together and just, try to create magic and just give the client the best experience as possible.
Right. And now do you experiment with flavors and ingredients?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
That's cool.
I mean, we have to have fun too, not just the client.
Well, that's good. What are some of your favorite dishes? Like, if someone were to cook for you, what would you like to eat?
What would I love to eat? That's a good question. So hope everybody's taking notes. So, I love seafood. Grew up on seafood. I try to learn about different regions and stay within that. But spot prawns are great out here. Ridgeback shrimp is great out here. Even Dungeness crab, it's great on the West Coast. But the blue crab, the Gulf shrimp, some of the Atlantic and East Coast fish is fantastic. For as meat, duck, short ribs, give me a good steak. I'm a happy man.
What about dessert? How do you satisfy your sweet tooth?
Ice cream.
Yeah.
Ice cream's a favorite.
Nice.
I think cream cheese ice cream is one of my favorite ice creams.
Huh.
Cream cheese ice cream and banana pudding ice cream.
Okay. And do you cook that too? Do you prepare that?
Yeah, I do desserts also.
Oh, that's sweet. Awesome. So what's Will Smith's go-to dish? I'm curious.
Go-to dish that I've done for him was crab cakes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So easy, straightforward. Plus, they have an East Coast presence. He's from Philly. His wife is from Baltimore. So crab cakes is just a staple in their family also.
Good to know. I'm a sushi guy. I'm pretty much addicted to sushi. Do you ever prepare a good sushi roll or something of that?
Yeah, I'll do sushi here and there.
Okay.
When requested.
Okay. Cool.
But I think if it's like Asian cuisines, you'll normally see Thai, you'll see Vietnamese, and in that aspect, some Korean dishes. So I stick to that realm where the flavors are, a lot bolder, a lot stronger. So it speaks true to my style of food.
Okay. Have you been on any of the cooking competition shows?
I've done cooking competitions like nationally and locally, World Food Championships. I've done Culinary Fight Club. And some things have been affiliated with the Food Network.
Okay.
But nothing on the Food Network as of yet.
Okay. But that's a goal of yours.
That's a goal.
Yeah.
That's a goal. Chop, Beat Bobby Flay. Those are two that I would love to be on.
Okay. Cool.
They just look like fun. It's high energy, fun. So you just never know what you're going to get yourself into. So those are two that I would love to be on.
Now, is there a style of food that you haven't tackled yet that you'd want to?
There's so much food all over the world. And so much to tackle into. I guess just learning more of different styles. Peruvian is one of my favorites. I love French. I love Italian. I love Spanish. I guess it's just learning more of the style of cuisine than just really trying to find something I want to tackle into.
Now, you've mentioned Peruvian. I think years ago I had a Peruvian empanada, and they prepared it with a hard-boiled egg inside, and it was one of the most delicious things ever. So if you ever stumble upon that recipe, please let me know.
Okay, I will definitely let you know.
Yeah.
It's a growing culture, growing cuisine out here.
Yeah.
So it's since you do love Japanese cuisine, it's well versed with Japanese flavors. So it's a great thing to really tap into.
Yeah. And also, I actually have recently found out about the Pokeball, Poke Burrito. It's a Hawaiian-style sashimi with rice and vegetables and fruit, and it's just very refreshing, very delicious.
Yes, that's very delicious.
Yeah.
I've had that many times in Hawaii.
Cool.
Tuna right out the water, so you taste the really
oh my God.
great freshness about it. Like you said, vegetables, nori, little sesame seeds, soy. And it's a fantastic dish.
It really is great. So you've been to Hawaii. You've been. I'm assuming you've been all over. What are some of the locales you've gone to research your craft of cooking?
I've been in Hawaii. I've been to, of course, around the States, Chicago, New York, the South, of course, Atlanta, New Orleans, France, Italy, Spain.
Wow, really?
Portugal was a great one.
Okay. All over.
So those are some places I've had a chance to really explore and see different flavors of not only what I would want to use, but what other chefs are cooking around the world.
Yeah. Have you made a long-lasting friendships in these countries, like fellow chefs, fellow colleagues, if you were?
Oh, always.
Yeah.
Oh, always.
That's great.
I mean, we're striving to do the same thing. So, it's always great to make bonds and friendships with different chefs all over the world.
Now, do you consider cooking an art, or is it more science?
It's both.
Mm-hmm.
It's an art.
Okay.
It's an art and a science.
That's good. Good answer.
Well, I mean, because cooking in this aspect is more of the art form, to where, I mean, you would consider baking more of a science, more technical. Ingredients have to be measured correctly. So that's the more scientific part of it.
Okay. And now, what about the art?
The art is just, cooking. Learning the basic techniques of cooking preparation within itself. You learn that. You can create art just from those basic techniques and just elevate it to a whole different atmosphere.
Right, and it's all about the plating, right?
Oh yeah, you eat with your eyes, so 90% of your eyes, 10% of your mouth. So it has to look appealing, and the presentation has to be on point at all times.
Sure. Wow. Okay, this is actually a movie review show, so I'm curious, what are some of your favorite movies?
I actually revisited one last night, Lord of the Rings.
Okay. The original.
Yeah, that's always been one of my favorites.
The Fellowship of the Ring?
Huh?
The Fellowship of the Ring?
No, I was actually watching The Two Towers last night.
Okay. That's a cool one.
Yeah.
Great battle scene towards the end.
Oh, yeah, all throughout. Keeps you engaged, intact throughout the whole movie. So, nice. The whole series is pretty much a favorite of mine.
Mm-hmm. I've heard The Hobbit is not so great, though.
Nah, it was a big disappointment.
Yeah.
I think we were expecting the storyline to really match up to the movie, but they just didn't do a great job with that.
Right. So you're big on fantasy adventure films?
No, mostly action adventure.
Action adventure? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What's your all-time favorite action movie?
Oh, that's a good one. I still love Fast and Furious.
Okay.
Still love that.
Cool.
And then even if you tie into celebrities that I've cooked for, I would say Enemy of the State by Will Smith. That's one of my favorites that he's done.
That's a very underrated action thriller. And one of Gene Hackman's last movies, I believe. So.
Yes, that's true.
It's a really good one too. And it's got Jack Black. I think Seth Green is in it. It's got a very strange supporting cast. Scott Conn.
That's the truth.
But I remember really, really liking it. And I think Smith did that right after Men in Black. So that was like at the peak of his popularity. Like he was really young. So that's cool. That's cool. Well, Ryan, I'm getting hungry just listening to you. This is great. And, I want to thank you for your time today. This was great. You have an awesome career. I'm kind of jealous of you because you're around celebrities and you're cooking for them. And I'm sure you're sampling what you're cooking as well. So
always. That's why I stay in the gym.
Yeah,
so.
Good. Well, keep on cooking, and hopefully we can see you at the studio in person sometime.
Definitely. That sounds great.
If you're ever in New York, we'd love to have you.
That'd be awesome.
Awesome. Well, Ryan, thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys, so we're going to take a short commercial break, but we'll be back with our film review segment right after this.
Under the Radar is brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Patent pending interchange genuine gemstone and crystal EMF protection jewelry. For more information, please visit magnitudejewelry.com/gemgirl or call 718-268-6634.
Hey guys, welcome back to Under the Radar, and this is our film review segment, and as you can see, we're all dressed in our best, and we've got Amanda Vasquez.
Hi.
Sorry, Harley Quinn. Sorry. And Poison Ivy.
Hello.
And I'm David S. Pumpkins. So, how's your Halloween weekend going so far?
Busy.
Halloween week, I should say, yeah.
I'm busy.
Busy.
I've been being Harley ever since Friday.
Yeah, it looks good. You look great.
Thank you.
And Poison Ivy.
Well, this is like my big time of year.
Yes. Big cosplayer.
Yes. So on Friday, I visited the kids at the hospital.
Oh.
Where were you?
Snow White.
Okay.
So we go trick-or-treating with the kids in the hospital rooms. So it's kind of
Wow.
fun. So we go all throughout the hospital. And then yesterday, I was Poison Ivy, and we go to the costume contest. And today I'm Poison Ivy, and I'll be dressed all week. So
That's great. What are the Poison Ivy, Snow White,
Snow White.
any others in your?
I mean, I have
Arsenal?
like my Peacock and my Flapper and like my other Disney princesses. I pull them out all throughout the week.
Wow, that's
so.
crazy.
Yeah.
And what about on actual Halloween night itself?
I haven't decided yet. I might
Okay.
do Poison Ivy again. This is my newest one. So
That's
every year I
cool.
add a new one to my collection.
Nice.
Nice.
Cool.
I like it though. I really like
Yeah.
it.
Thank you.
Like you can't see the boots, but the
Oh, yeah.
whole costume is just
Yeah.
perfect.
Well, thanks.
Very
And we
green.
match beautifully.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, we look pretty damn good, I must say. So we've got two films to talk about. As always, they're both very different. And
Super different, actually.
Yeah, they were very different.
Almost completely opposite. But the first one, appropriately enough, is a horror film, and it's called Trick. And basically, it's about a detective who's trying to track down a slasher. It's kind of like Scream. There he is with his mask. He's ready for action. And it felt like a nice throwback to 90s slasher films, especially Scream. And I was really pleasantly surprised. It offered some new stuff too. So you've got Omar Epps plays the detective. Kind of, it really doesn't offer much new in terms of storytelling and story, you know. But I don't know, it was good. What do you think, Amanda?
I mean,
Harley.
I mean, I usually really love horror movies, so I like this one just
Yeah.
because it was a really good horror movie. Like, it had nice jump scares. The ending was a little bit different. I don't want to give it away, but the ending was a little bit different than what you'd see in other movies.
Yeah.
It was a little predictable. Like, I could kind of tell who the bad guys were going to be. But I liked it. I mean, it was good. Even yesterday, I went to a Halloween party, and the costume there, I saw someone, I got scared. I was like, oh my God, it's Trick! Trick is here!
I didn't think of that. It might be like a new costume
the
thing
pumpkin
that's-
head?
Yes, yeah.
Because everyone's doing the Scream costume.
Right,
and
I'm wondering now.
It's not
yeah.
that scary anymore, but now, when I see
It's a
that,
little overused.
when I see the pumpkin head,
Well,
now
I was
I'm
at the
gonna get
party
scared.
with you, and I did see one Ghostface.
Yes.
Just one.
And I immediately thought of Scream. So
Yeah, of course.
They're trying to make it where now you immediately think
Yeah,
of
it's going to be
Trick.
like the new,
Yeah.
go-to costume. Yeah.
I could see that happening.
And the fact that Omar Epps was in it was hilarious because he was in Scream too.
And Jamie Kennedy was in it too.
Oh my God, yes.
Who-
They actually use a lot, like, horror movies are known for using a lot of the same actors over and
Yeah.
over.
I love that. It's such it's an homage to the classics.
And it's also like kind of like the same world. You know how like in Batman and stuff they try to keep like the same universe. Like in horror movies, they're all like the same people reappearing.
Like Paul Rubens is the Penguin's father. Yeah, he was in Batman Returns and Gotham. Awesome. But yeah, this movie, I was actually pleasantly surprised.
I liked it. I mean, I wasn't expecting much because I wasn't sure. Like, sometimes horror movies are like a crapshoot. You never know if it's just going to be super, super lame or really, really good.
Yeah.
So, and you can't really go based on the characters because some really big name people can be in really lame movies. So
that happens a lot.
Yeah, you can't even go based on the actors that they chose.
I typically go for, if I see an actor I like in there, I go for that movie. But
like this movie, it didn't really have that many big names, but I liked it. It was really good.
It was decent. It was decent.
I actually read, not maybe a year or so ago, an article that was saying that horror movies are actually getting harder to write because of the technology. So I thought this did kind of, I mean, like, I know it was predictable, like you were saying, but I think I can appreciate it a little bit more because it is hard to do stuff like, you know, they say now, like, they always have to mention cell phones or, like, computers, but, like, 20 years ago, it was like, oh, we're just trapped in this basement, and now you can't really do stuff like that.
Right.
Because you'd be like, well, I have my phone, I'm going to call the cops. So
I thought when you said technology, I thought you meant CGI and stuff.
Well, that too, but I mean, like, they're saying writing-wise, it's harder to create that scenario of, like, I'm stuck in an elevator, what can I do? Because now people would be like, well, we'll whip out my iPhone.
And the same thing
Look at the movie coming out now, A Countdown, that is...
You really want to see that.
I really do. It's based on your phone. Like, your phone is doing the countdown.
Because that's such a huge part of people's lives now. That
as the basis of the movie.
Yeah, it seems unrealistic in some of these movies, that are not, unless they're period pieces, to not have a cell phone whipped out any single second.
It does affect storytelling. I agree with it. Like, even with, like, they do these modern-day Seinfelds.
Those too,
yeah. Like if you had a cell phone back in the 90s, like when Seinfeld, it would not have worked at all.
I make that joke. I like Seinfeld, but I'm like a big Friends person. I make that joke about that too
Same
because like
deal,
a lot of I mean that show is still relevant, but like there's so many things that would be different now if they had stuff we have now.
Yeah.
It's hard to make sitcoms now because people are just
sitcoms, horror films. It's hard to make a horror film now. Because people they're expecting like this level of like scariness, and if you don't deliver that and it doesn't seem realistic, then people get
So that's why I think that's why Scream 4 didn't do so well, because it relied a little bit on technology at the time.
If anything's happening, you're like, okay, let me just call them. Exactly. Not run all the way to their house.
To bring it back to this, I thought this was like believable, a little predictable, but it still managed to get all the elements in there without being like over the top.
I feel like they banked on time to combat the technology. They based it on time, so it was like over a 10-year span. They kept showing each year.
Right, so then it makes
that's how they made it. Like
sense,
it was more long-winded, but not in the movie sense. But that's how they combat.
That was a good touch.
That's an interesting, like more clever way of approach to it. I guess is what I'm saying.
Make it seem like it was just a long amount of time.
Yeah, it worked. I recommend it.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I recommended it too.
This is on your radar.
Yes.
Yours?
I'm not. Even though I'm Queen Halloween, I'm not a horror person, so I didn't dislike it. It's not like one that I would be like running to see again because things like this freak me out. But I give them credit for creativity.
That's good. That's good.
Queen Halloween.
Yeah, I like that. That works.
Well, you can even tell the difference in our costumes. Like yours is more nice, and mine is more scary.
She's
a Batman villain, though.
For like 4 months.
But she still looks friendly. Like kids would come
she
up
does.
to you.
Thank you.
Where kids would be scared of me.
Yeah.
No. So I think this is a good segue into Halloween movies in general. Not just horror movies, mostly horror movies. But Amanda, favorite horror movie of all time? All time. Yes, please.
There's so many good ones. I guess
top 3.
The Saw franchise.
Oh, really?
That's at the top. Like
I didn't know that was your favorite.
I can't. Like I was always, and it will always come out every October, and I was always in the movie theater.
They made like 10
every
of them.
October.
Didn't they make like
it was
from
8 the original,
8 of them.
and then they came out with Jigsaw, which was
they
should have just stopped. Like,
while they were ahead.
But a lot of franchises are like that. They should just stop a lot of things.
Yeah.
They don't.
Like, but literally the 8th one concluded the whole 8 years. Like, there's no point in bringing out Jigsaw.
Was that a prequel or was that a continuation?
It was actually a continuation, and it made finalized. It was done.
Yeah.
So
Didn't they? Wasn't it called the last one saw the final chapter? Mm-hmm. Well, they did that with Friday the 13th in the 80s, but then they came out with another one right after it.
but how did that work when it came back?
It didn't work so bad.
No.
It was okay.
Well, whoever did this one with Jigsaw
Just completely
did a
forget
very
it.
good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Okay.
But I mean, I guess Saw would be my top.
Top one? Okay. Do you have a favorite?
My favorite used to be Hocus Pocus.
Okay.
But, so I really liked it when I was young.
Okay.
You know, and then I didn't hear about it for years, and I kind of almost forgot about it. But then it became like this thing now.
Yeah,
where it's
it's popular.
So, but I don't mind things that are popular, but like people have like overdone it now. Like
They
it doesn't
wanna
need to
bring
be
it back
playing on
almost.
TV every single night.
Did you
like
see
they
the
ruined it a little
dogs
bit.
dressed up as the characters?
Yeah,
That's
I
so
think the original
cute.
movie's great. I think
So
the
cute.
actors and the costumes, and I love when people like cosplay it and stuff. But what I'm saying is they've kind of killed it on television now.
Right.
We don't need it to be on all 31 nights of October. It's not
Like,
necessary.
it's not even just every night. Sometimes it's twice
Twice a
a
day,
night.
yeah, it's
Like,
too much.
it came
That was
out-
my favorite.
It
but-
came out in what, 1993?
93.
And now it's like all of a sudden, like,
It's got like a new life to it.
how did that happen,
You
though?
see it on Freeform. You see it
It's
on
everywhere.
It's all different
Yeah.
channels too.
I think a lot of people get nostalgic about like 90s things, and then at one point somebody was like, "Oh, remember this when we were kids?" And it just kind of got like this thing on the internet.
Yeah.
And they are fun costumes to dress up in, and I mean everybody loves Sarah Jessica Parker, like all those people.
Kathy
Thora
Naj-
Bird,
Najimy?
yes,
Yeah.
and Bette Midler. I mean,
Bette
those are all
Midler.
great people. So it's kind of gotten a new wind, which is nice, but like people have killed it a little bit. So
Yeah.
I'm ready to take a break for it, but it
It's
was
a little
my
much.
favorite. Yeah.
It was until they killed it.
Yeah.
So that's a good example of a Halloween movie that's not necessarily a
yeah.
horror movie.
There's like
you know, Halloween, not
horror
horror.
elements, you know,
scary.
like coming
Yeah.
back from the dead, but it's like a family friendly thing.
Yeah, family friendly.
In that vein, I'd probably say Nightmare Before Christmas or Edward Scissorhands.
Okay.
Yeah, those are good Halloween.
Halloween
movies.
Town's
Or Halloween-
good.
that's what I was
yeah,
about to
that's
say.
good
Halloween
one.
Town, I don't think I know that one.
Really? That's
That,
also from
they're
the 90s.
bringing that back too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
There-
main
that was
girl
a-
made like a whole website for it to sell.
Yeah, and she
like,
married somebody from
Yeah.
the show, the movie, but it's like a whole series, so you should watch it.
Okay. Does that anybody like the Jonas Brothers or
No,
No,
this
it's
was
older
like
than
the
that.
early
Oh, is it?
90s.
It's
About
like
the same
Hocus
time as
Pocus
Hocus
time.
Pocus. Yeah.
I just remember from Nickelodeon. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
It's like that time period.
I love it. I love it. That
Kimberly Brown, that's the
main
actress's
girl.
name.
Kimberly
Yeah.
Brown. Okay.
She's probably like 40 now,
She
but
said she's
she was
making like a whole
a teenager
website
then.
and she's selling like Halloween Town memorabilia. I was
She
like,
hasn't done anything since then.
that
So,
she's living off of that.
so that's
Wow.
gonna have its new second one too.
It's like, wow,
Okay.
that's amazing that she's like Halloween T-shirts. I'm
Well,
like,
and she
wow.
married somebody from the cast.
perfect.
So,
Oh.
you know, they can make money off it together.
Beautiful thing for her career.
I will check that out.
It's a good movie. They're cute. I just hope it doesn't take on the same annoyance
It
that
might.
Hocus Pocus
It
did.
might.
You know what was a huge disappointment? The Goosebumps movies. I saw the first one with Jack
I was
Black.
never into them.
Well, Goosebumps shows, like, I
The show
always
was
tried
okay.
to come home, like, race home from school. It was always Goosebumps or Power Rangers. Those
Yep.
are the two that
Batman the Animated Series
I needed
also.
to see every
4
Yeah,
o'clock.
see, Goosebumps, I never got into that because I was I was never a horror person, even as a kid.
But it's like watered down, friendly.
But
horror.
as
No, I mean, I know
kid.
what it is, but I'm
As
saying
a
like I never,
kid.
it wasn't my thing.
Okay.
I've read some of the books, but like I was not clamoring
books
for
were
the
great.
next.
Especially as a kid, like, you're like, no, that's
yeah,
scary.
too much.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Wait, what's
let's-
your favorite?
favorite horror movie? That's a good question. I think of all time, like the scariest movie of all time is probably The Shining. Yeah. But
I mean, that's like different kind. That's like literally
Yeah,
horror. It doesn't need to be
yeah.
Halloween themed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? The ones we're talking about were Halloween
no,
themes.
here's one, and I almost dressed up as this for one Halloween anyway. Beetlejuice.
Oh, okay.
Now that's the quintessential.
I do like the movie Beetlejuice. I saw the musical.
We did too.
Oh my God, yeah, we did too.
didn't love it. I mean, I
Yeah.
know I'm like a music person. I mean, I thought the theatrics of it were great, but like, I felt like it should have just stayed a movie.
It was
It
good
didn't
for what it
read-
was.
Yeah, it didn't read well to me as a
Right.
musical. but-
Especially since they were trying to copy off of a movie. Like, it's
Yeah, but it just
hard.
seemed too much like
Super
a movie.
hard.
They were trying to continue the story, which I respected, and they gave a little, insight.
The songs were good.
Yeah, but
I see what
it
you
wasn't
mean.
like, you know, a
I didn't like
Wicked
the
where
music
you're
so
gonna
much.
remember. Yeah, it was just not memorable to me.
What's
I didn't
better?
like the pyrotechnics of it, though.
I think
Have you seen other Broadway shows, though?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to school for musical
So
theater.
then that's why you would be more.
Yes, I've seen many, but no, I mean, that's what I'm saying. The production value of it was great.
Yeah.
The story was it was just very movie.
If you want to see something better, see the Beetlejuice animated series.
I loved that when I was a kid.
Yeah. It's good stuff. It's fun stuff.
Yeah,
I've
maybe
never
one day.
seen many Broadway shows, so I liked it.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I don't have
way more. I've seen about 50 of them.
I
So.
don't have much to compare it to, so I was like, it's nice.
Yeah.
It was fun. The crowd was crazy.
Yeah, that's what
so.
it's good for somebody like you then who doesn't see a lot, but like for someone like me who studied musical theater, I was like, this is they're throwing out $1 million here to be like, here's Beetlejuice. You know?
Another awesome. It was an off-Broadway play. It was Evil Dead the musical, and it was based off of the second movie, the first two movies.
Wow.
And that had a great soundtrack as well. And, yeah, that was an awesome Halloween movie.
You seen that one?
I've seen the movie. I haven't seen the.
I haven't seen the show. Yeah, I
knew it existed, but
it's touring all over. But they were in New York in 2006, and I managed to catch it. So that it was.
Was it scary?
No, it was a lot of fun. They gave you these ponchos because they would spraying blood at you.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that was fun.
Broadway can do stuff like that. Broadway, they would never.
And I even met Bruce Campbell after the show.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, he was in the audience. So that was fun.
I'm trying to think of like other Halloween themed shows and movies, but
Well, anything Tim Burton.
well, he just adds that element of you know.
Though
But it's like a whimsical, like.
after Big Fish, though, I lost all hope for him.
What was wrong with Big Fish?
No, Big Fish was amazing, but after that.
all going downhill from there.
Yeah. That was his last decent movie, in my opinion. Like, have you seen Dark Shadows? That was terrible.
Well,
Actually, I did watch it. I hate it.
Thank you.
Last night before we all went out, because I do like a big group, so we all went out as Batman villains. We watched the '90s Batman, and Tim Burton produced it. So I was thinking, I was like, why are we?
Well, Burton directed the first two.
We watched the one with.
He produced the third one.
Well, which one? The one we were watching was one with Jim Carrey and
Third one.
That one, yeah.
Forever, yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Help you guys get in the mood.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did while we were getting ready. There was like 10 of us, so.
That's good. I was actually the Riddler when I was a kid, when I was 10 years old.
Riddler was cool.
Yeah.
We had a Riddler last night. He was there.
Nice. I
had
might do that again.
Riddler?
As an adult, yeah. Why not?
It was fun doing the Batman as an adult yesterday because people were coming up to us that were like in their 30s and 40s. They were like, "Oh my God, this is like my childhood." I mean, one of the bouncers at the costume contest, like took his shirt. Well, he named all of us like out of nowhere, even like the very specific, peculiar ones. Like Poison Ivy's well known, but like Hugo Strange is not like a super well known one. He knew everybody, and then he took off his shirt and he had a Batman tattoo, and he was like, "This is the coolest costume ever." So like, it was fun, more fun as an adult than I think as a kid.
How many of you were there?
I think 10 of us.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we do this every year.
All different characters.
Yes.
Oh my God.
All Batman related.
We need pictures of that.
have
We wish
some.
we had one right now to throw up on the screen.
Next week.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, no, we did Two-Face, we did Riddler, we did.
Joker.
We didn't have a Joker because everybody was afraid because of the new movie that came out. So
I can see that.
We didn't have a Joker, but we had a Harley Quinn, we had Poison Ivy, we had Catwoman, we had, did I say Two-Face?
Oh, it's just mostly women.
No, well, I have a lot of girlfriends, but they dressed, like one of them dressed as the Penguin.
Okay.
So, like, there were girls that did guy
That's cool.
ones as
Okay,
well.
okay.
We had Riddler, Hugo Strange. We met a Robin in the middle of the
Nice.
party. He
Cool.
wasn't with us, but he was there.
Miss Freeze? Mrs. Freeze?
We wanted a Mr. Freeze, but it was too hard to do the cap thing.
Wait, Batman? You had a
We
Batman?
went just as villains.
Just
to go
the Rogues Gallery.
Yeah.
Got it.
Cool.
Every year we do. So last year we did Alice in Wonderland with
Okay.
all those. So we try to pick things with like big characters.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
We got a lot of the 90s crowd really was digging it last
I love
night.
it. Very nostalgic.
Well, it worked out perfectly because she was Harley today.
There you go. Perfect.
Yep.
I should have dressed up as Nightwing. Anyway, so we're going to talk about our next film right after our second commercial break. We'll be back right after this, guys.
Under the Radar is brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Patent pending interchange genuine gemstone and crystal EMF protection jewelry. For more information, please visit magnitudejewelry.com/gemgirl or call 718-268-6634.
And we're back. Hey guys, Randy Younger, Under the Radar, and this is our special Halloween episode, obviously. Any questions? Sorry. I had to do that. So yeah, we've got 17 minutes left. Let's talk about our second movie of the week. And it's called Dolomite Is My Name, and it is a Netflix original starring the great Eddie Murphy as Rudy Ray Moore, who's basically a failing stand-up comedian, and he wants to just reinvigorate his career by making movies. Really terrible blaxploitation movies in the 70s, and apparently it's based on a true story. It's a crazy story, and
I really appreciated that. It was a true story, though.
Yeah.
It was almost, like, better that it was a true story, because, you know, like they say, like, truth is stranger than fiction. Like, it was, like, that scenario. That's what I liked about it.
Yeah,
I agree.
It was off the wall. No, it's a really nice return to form for Murphy, because I haven't seen him in a movie like this
I do. I was
in
saying
years.
that to Amanda off set before, but
Yeah.
I love Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
And there's just something about him. I think it's his voice, but there's just something about him that no matter what role he does, it's always funny.
Yeah.
Right.
It could
Even-
be like
even
one
when
of the
he's
worst
serious,
movies,
He
and
just
it's still funny.
His voice is just so iconic and funny.
Even Vampire in Brooklyn?
Yeah, any voice that
No matter
anytime he
what.
speaks, it just gives this air of like,
Like
oh.
Yeah.
Vampire in Brooklyn, Pluto Nash, like those
That
are
was
really
bad.
bad.
Right,
Right,
Yeah.
but if there, he,
But
he's
you watch
still
it
not
and you're
allowed.
That was
still
his
funny.
decline,
Yeah.
but this is
But
he's
you
going
still
back
find
up.
yourself laughing.
Yeah,
when you
it's
Yeah.
watch
just him.
them.
He's just like he can just not be serious. Like,
Yeah.
even if he is being serious, I just can never take him.
I
seriously.
Yeah.
I didn't like Bowfinger that much, to be honest with you.
I don't remember that
Yeah,
one.
that was him and Steve Martin. He plays kind of like a.
Okay, I do
a
like Steve
simpleton.
Martin though. So.
Yeah.
You don't like it.
You would think they'd have good chemistry, and they kind of did, but the movie itself kind of fell flat. Pluto Nash, and then there was another one called Showtime.
Okay.
Where it was him and Robert De Niro as they played cops.
Oh God.
And they were just like, banging heads, and just they were that wasn't very good either. But I don't know. Maybe The Nutty Professor was where his career kind of went downhill, and that was in
Really, a lot of people
Was that
know him
before
from
or
that,
after Shrek? Because I feel like
Before?
Yeah, no. Well, Shrek was only a voice.
I know, but
role.
I feel like now when everybody hears his voice,
True.
like you just
Because
hear the
he
donkey. You know?
Shrek and Donkey. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was 2001, the first Shrek,
Yeah. So.
and it ended in I think 2010. They did
Well,
the-
they kept making them, but I
Yeah,
mean, the
yeah.
first
So
one is
many.
the one
Yeah.
that's like what he's known for.
Yeah, but it's nice to see him in a live action role again.
Yeah, I think he does a really good job of being someone else. Like, not all actors are good at that. Like,
Yeah.
but I thought
He really
I
does.
thought he really emulated this
Yeah.
guy.
I mean, I had no idea about this Rudy Ray Moore.
I didn't either.
Me neither.
but I'm fascinated by it.
But then at the end, when they were showing clips of like the actual movie, I had seen that guy before,
Oh,
Rudy
really?
Ray Moore. Like I guess I had
Oh, you
seen
have
his
it?
photo
Okay.
or a clip of him or something, and I
know-
was like, Eddie Murphy does kind of resemble that guy. So
Especially the way they set him up in the movie. He
yeah,
really
it was like
resembles.
pretty.
I think
similar.
he looked more like Michael Strahan, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah.
Eddie Murphy or the real guy?
The real guy,
Oh.
the
yeah,
real
but,
Rudy Ray
but I mean,
Moore.
like I'm saying, Eddie Murphy did a good job embodying
Yeah.
him.
He
That's
really
not
lights
easy.
up the screen.
Yeah.
Like, I think that he started off on SNL, and he was a stand-up, then SNL, and now he's like 19 years old. That was 1980, and he's not even that old. He's only 58 now. So
Wow.
yeah, he's still got it. He's really good. I'm also the Beverly Hills Cop movies. Huge fan of all three of those. I think they're going to make a fourth one.
What?
Yeah.
You're bringing back all of these movies. It's like Bad
There's-
Boys. They're bringing that back.
The
too.
third
They
one.
bring back everything. That's
Bring
the age
back
that we're
everything.
in right now.
There's no originality, sadly.
You're like, let's just make another sequel of something or a remake of something.
Yeah.
That's
what it's all
That's where
about.
we're at now.
But that's what made this movie so good, that it was like an original idea.
It was very original.
No,
yeah.
No, I love movies that are based on true stories, like I was saying. Like, 'cause it's not quite a documentary, but it,
And it's always a person that you're like, well, I never even
knew about this person.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I love the clips at
crazy.
the end, and I watched it with Rob, and now he wants to watch the original movie. So,
Yeah, I kind of
you
do
know,
too.
it opens
just
up a
to
whole
see,
new
yeah.
world of like things that I didn't know about before.
But I mean,
know.
his acting
It's cool.
quality, I don't know. I know he was trying to act as much as Rudy as possible, but some of his
Yeah.
acting reminded me of Charlie Murphy, his brother.
Oh.
Like some of the things that he was saying and some of the jokes he was making reminded me, like he was trying to do an homage to his brother.
You mean the crass humor?
Yeah.
The cursing?
Because he's usually crass anyway.
Yeah.
But
I think this movie-
it felt more like Charlie. And I feel like the way his facial expressions look.
I mean, if that's how Rudy Ray Moore really was, then that's okay. But I thought this movie had really strong family appeal. Like if they kind of watered it down and
Yeah, because it had a lot of crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it was
opened with like,
it was
what am I watching?
it was kind of a turnoff, right? Like
Yeah.
it was too much.
Well, I feel that way about a lot of things. I mean, music too. But like, I'd have to know more about this guy because if he was like that, then they're
No.
But I
literally
think he
just,
was a little bit more on the crass side of
I
comedy.
think you'd have to
so
be.
that's why he made
based
it more
on
crass
the
side of
comedy albums they were talking about
Exactly.
on there. I mean,
That's
yeah.
So I'm like, I'm
There's a
thinking
lot.
that they did it on purpose to be as close to accurate as possible, but
Yeah.
that would be my only turn off for the movie, that it was
Yeah.
extremely crass. It had way too much profanity that it needed
it was like
to.
overly crass.
Because I'm
It
fine
is.
with cursing, like
Right,
movies
no,
sometimes
I
need
understand.
cursing.
Because
but,
this could have been like a lighthearted comedy. Like it's a
but
likable
I don't know
movie.
if they were going for that.
No, not
but
at all.
I feel like it still could have been rated R, but a little less cursing.
Yeah.
No.
Like every sentence almost had like a curse.
Oh,
word
I
in
didn't
it,
know
so
what
I
was.
like,
I mean,
Yeah.
I was watching
I was
with
like, oh my
Rob,
God.
but if I'd been
I was like,
watching
oh
with
my
somebody
goodness.
else, I don't know.
What'd you guys think of the supporting? Like this is a big cast.
It had a lot of people
Yeah,
in it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
they were all like memorable. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like
right.
sometimes movies will throw in a bunch of people and they're gone and you don't care, but like every single person
They kept
in here,
popping
like,
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they,
Like, oh, this person's in it.
they
Oh my
really
God.
brought something to it though.
I thought Keegan Michael Key was great as the
He's
screenwriter.
always-
I love
always
the
hilarious.
woman. I don't know what the actress'
Oh,
name
the-
that played like Lady whatever.
Divine Joy Randolph.
yeah.
I've never seen her before. But
I don't know. I just loved the character
Yeah.
and I just thought she was so cute and
Yeah, she was cute.
it was very genuine.
And I kind of wanted to see them get together in the end.
I was
but-
thinking that was going to happen.
No
but
spoilers. Oops. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Well, maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. I don't know.
What I will say is I did like that scene where she kind of thanks him for like at the end, towards the end, for like bringing her into this whole crazy
Yeah.
thing, because I felt like I don't know, I felt like a real chemistry there. Not even romantic. Like I just felt like it just
a
felt
strong
genuine.
friendship,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
nice. It was nice to see somebody like getting that.
I could have seen a
opportunity.
romantic like drama or romantic
Yeah.
dramedy with the two of them.
But maybe, I mean, if that didn't happen in real life,
Like-
they probably
Well,
didn't
that's why I
want
liked
that in there.
that ending
Yeah.
scene, or not ending scene, but the scene with her, that closure scene with her, because
It was nice.
it felt like full circle. Because in
Yeah.
life, sometimes you meet someone and you're like friendly with them, and then you bring them into something even bigger, and you don't even realize it
Yeah.
at
happens
the
all
time.
the time,
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
favorite though, I think, was Wesley Snipes, as his like extravagant drug. I think he was on coke and he was
Oh my
drunk
God.
throughout the whole movie.
Snoop Dogg, that was,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
a great addition
It
too.
was some really funny performances here.
I love Titus. I love Titus and everything. Titus Burgess, he's the best.
Oh yeah.
I kind of wonder though, like if these people enjoy or wanted to be part of this production, because we don't know, you know, what's his name, Rudy Ray Moore. We don't know how much of an influence his stuff may have had on some of these actors.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
that's
mean? Like,
true.
we don't know what
That's
kind of
so
doors it
true.
could have opened up, because I'm thinking at the time that was like a big deal for people from like an urban area that didn't have any money. And I don't know how many of these actors started out in that same situation, so
Like,
it
a
could
lot
have
of
been
them
I'm sure
an
most
inspiring
yeah,
thing, you know?
start off
Yeah.
in indie films and
Yeah.
stuff, and they get it. They understand. And
Especially a lot of the characters being people of color, like it
That's what I'm saying.
is
Like
super connected to them.
I didn't know about
Yeah.
this guy, but I don't know. A lot of them may have known about his films.
I mean, Eddie Murphy's definitely not in that boat because of what you said.
No,
He started
yeah.
in SNL like such a young age.
Well,
he
he
got
kinda-
his break
he rose. He
earlier,
rose
like,
through the ranks.
true.
You know, he
but
didn't.
he got his break
Early.
pretty early in
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
where this guy was a lot older
Right.
Yeah.
and just wanted
and
to
just
break
kept getting
out.
shut down. You know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a nice underdog story,
Yeah.
and like a tale of someone just
Right.
going up in life, and that's what I loved about it, and that's
Yeah.
what audiences I'm assuming
Yeah, I
audiences
loved
will
its
love
real,
about it.
like, you know, the realism of it too.
Yeah.
Is asking like people he knew for money and
I
stuff. And,
know.
like, how many times has that happened to a lot of people
Yeah.
that ended up they kept failing, and eventually they got it, but it was because they were so persistent. So.
Yeah.
I hear that story a lot everywhere. That
Yeah.
happens all the time.
Yeah, it's a great story. So, you recommend this to fellow Netflix users?
I do recommend it. Just know going in, it's extremely crass.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
I would not
filled with
recommend it
profanity.
to watch with your grandmother
Or
somebody,
grandchildren.
Yeah, or anybody
Or-
under the age of 21, probably. If
But
you're
date
over
night.
21.
Date night, just movie to sit back and watch and laugh.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
definitely
It was
laugh.
good. It was-
You'll
it
definitely
was
If
fun.
you're a
laugh.
fan of Eddie Murphy, you'll really like this movie. for sure. And what's refreshing is that he was not multiple characters, like Nutty Professor.
No, he also wasn't, like, I mean, even though the character
Norbit.
was always over the top, like, it
Yeah.
was a realistic over the top. It wasn't like, you know, Dr. Dolittle crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it was
was
like
perfect for
realistic
him.
crazy, you know?
Yeah, it
there
was
are
perfect.
people that are like this, obviously, in real life.
Yeah. It felt kind of real, I guess.
It did. It
Yeah.
really did.
I mean, it is based on a true story.
And when they wanted you to feel for the character and feel sad for the character,
Yeah.
you did.
Yeah.
I guess
when he's over the top, sometimes you're like, oh.
that's what I'm saying. It wasn't, the character itself wasn't so outlandish that you were like, this would never happen, you know? So.
Like, you actually felt for him.
Right.
When he was having his down moments, you definitely felt for him.
Yeah, it worked. All right, so that's out on Netflix now. And we have a few minutes left. Movies that we're looking forward to seeing, Amanda?
Countdown.
Oh, yeah. You really like your horror. Okay, that's cool.
Yes, I do. Black Christmas is going to come out around Christmas.
Oh, they're remaking
That's like
that?
a first one in a long time of a Christmas horror movie.
Did you like the original?
I have not seen it
It's
yet.
good.
I need to watch the original Black Christmas.
Okay.
And I need to watch The Shining, because apparently I have never seen that.
Dr.
And
Sleep
Dr.
is coming
Sleep
up.
is coming out.
Yep,
so I have to see that
Gotta
too.
see Shining first.
Gotta see it.
40 years in the making.
I have a list of horror movies I need to see.
Yeah.
I have a list I don't need to see.
Nice. What are you looking forward to seeing?
Frozen 2.
Oh my god.
Obviously, my love of Disney, but
Nice.
I don't know. I'm always hesitant about sequels in Disney because I think that they don't get a lot of justice. Some of them are good, but it's always, they used to be like direct to DVD or direct to
I
video.
remember like Bambi 2.
Yeah, and Frozen 2 is coming out in the movies.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that it's probably going to be, there's probably more money going into it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hyped up more because Frozen was like breaking box office records.
Yep,
I
It
felt,
was.
I don't. It's been a while since I've seen the first Frozen, but wasn't that kind of a standalone movie, or did it leave the door
Well,
open?
so Frozen, the original Frozen, is based off of the Snow Queen.
Okay.
The original Grimm's fairy tale, the Snow Queen.
Okay.
They obviously changed it, because Disney does that. So Frozen 2 is like an original storyline written by Disney. It's not any part of the Grimm's story. They just took the characters and
The
they made
idea of
another problem.
Yeah.
But based on all the trailers I've seen, it looks not dark, but like it looks more serious than most Disney movies.
Same cast?
Same cast,
Good.
same characters, but it looks just more,
Dark.
adult, like not adult, but do you know what I'm trying
Mature?
to say? Like, yeah, like the storyline isn't like, oh, then we all love each other. Like it seems like they're going on some kind of quest that could be.
Well, I'll tell you, if the soundtrack is as good as the first one, then I think.
And they had so many side stories
See?
that they were thinking about adding into it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much they're
I
gonna
think
put
it's the
into
same writer. I think Jennifer Lee is still the writer.
Just let
For
it
the
go.
music?
Yeah.
Let it go.
Well,
is-
she wrote the story, and the Lopez couple. I can't think of their first names. They're married. They wrote the music for the original. I think they're all coming back.
Nice.
Jennifer Lee
Nice,
also
so then
wrote
we'll see.
Wreck-It
Yeah.
Ralph.
Good music.
So
Wreck-It Ralph.
she's
You love
good.
that one.
All right. Well, for me, Honey Boy, the next Shia LaBeouf movie, where it's
Nice.
based off of his
I
father.
just watched Holes the other day.
Oh,
For the first time?
nice.
No, I've seen it. I saw it 3 times in the theater, but whenever I hear Shia LaBeouf, I just
I've only seen from Disturbia onward. I haven't seen anything.
You've never seen Holes?
I've never seen his
so many.
his
Okay.
Nickelodeon show.
You need to watch Holes.
Holes. Yeah, it's got Sigourney Weaver, right?
That's
to
what I
watch
mean.
Holes.
John Voight, incredible performance by John
That's
Voight
cool.
in that movie.
Holes was
Henry
like just
Winkler.
incredible.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's
All
in
right.
it.
Yeah.
All right.
But you've never seen Holes?
I've never seen
Oh my
Holes.
goodness.
Holes is great because of the cast, and Holes is also great because, I mean, this is like 20 years old now, but
Yeah.
it was based on a book.
Uh-huh.
And then
Yep.
Disney just took the book
Yep,
and made
yep,
it
yep,
into
yep.
a movie, but it's quirky for Disney because
Yep.
they kept it true to the book.
All right.
It's so true. I mean,
Yeah.
there was slight
Well, you have to change a little
differences,
bit, but I mean, like, they didn't
but,
make it all like, we're happy and singing, you know?
And the-
Everything was the same.
And the premise is he's in like a juvenile detention.
Yeah, but
thing.
and we know from the beginning, so this is not a spoiler for you or anything, but like
Mm-hmm.
he clearly didn't do it,
Yep.
so he's kind of got to
He's
ride
wrongly-
out.
Yeah, he's wrongly.
That sucks.
Yeah.
All right.
So, like, not. I mean, it's a really good movie.
It's-
I
yeah.
loved it.
Or
I watched
Eartha
it.
Kitt's in it too.
Eartha Kitt.
The
Yeah.
kid is in it, too.
Very weird cast.
So
Great.
many people.
Yeah, definitely like a fun.
That was like one of the first movies I think in my childhood that I read the book for.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm reading this book.
Patricia Arquette's in it. Dule
Nice.
Hill's in it.
Yes.
Oh, from West Wing.
Yes.
And
seen
Psych,
and
right?
Psych.
Yeah, Psych. That's where I know
Just
her
big
from.
Psych fan.
So I mean, that's a good cast too.
Okay.
that's a family-friendly one. No
Yeah,
cursing
yeah.
in that.
And fast forward 20 years later to my favorite film of the year, The Peanut Butter Falcon, which stars Shia LaBeouf and this kid with Down syndrome. They have a very unlikely friendship, and they're both trying to like find themselves, and they're on a journey.
I mean, Shia LaBeouf is...
He's so good.
He's a great actor. He's gotten a little
incredible.
crazy in real life.
He's a little quirky himself.
I mean, his life, his childhood, his, like...
Yeah.
I feel like that's for most people, but they have like a backstory as to
Yeah.
why they go a little
Yeah,
crazy later in life.
You know, he was a big Spielberg. He was a friend of Spielberg's.
That's how he got into the Transformers, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. It's cool. He produced it.
I think I've watched so many Shia LaBeouf movies.
It's
He's
great.
a great actor. He's one of those
great.
people that you're like, what's he gonna do next? You
And
know?
for his newest film, Honey Boy, he actually wrote the script while he was in rehab.
Oh,
so that's
it's
kind
probably
of
going to be really good.
yeah,
then.
I have no
Because I
doubt.
feel like he's coming, like, people like, sometimes
Yeah.
they come back from it, or sometimes they
don't, yeah.
I think he's making that full circle, which is really
I mean, he
good
really
for
he
him.
had the talent since he was a kid.
Really
It's
good
just a
for
shame
him.
that he kind of spiraled downward. But like,
No.
I
But
hope he makes a good
happened.
comeback.
He's still
you know?
young though.
happened.
Yeah, I mean, the
he's-
talent's still there.
Yeah,
Clearly.
yeah. So I'm really excited.
A lot of these people, when you read their story, you're like, I guess a lot of people would have gone crazy if they
Yeah.
lived that. So.
That's crazy. Well,
But you said that this movie sounds similar to his life, so
yeah, he's playing his father basically. So that's pretty awesome.
that might help his therapy, though.
Yeah, this is all part of it. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so about a minute or so left. Any plugs, Amanda? Anything going on you want to talk about? World of Amanda Vasquez?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't have much going on.
All right, well, you look great.
Thank you.
That's something.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Of course. Jennifer Covey, anything going
Well,
on?
I'm directing 2 shows right now.
Awesome.
I'm
Ooh.
casting a bunch of shows in the city. I'm involved in a couple of my own things, but I can't that I'll be in, but I can't say them
Okay.
yet because I'm not allowed to.
Okay.
But when they come out, I'll let you know so that
Thank
we
you.
can talk about it. And then, of course, I'm still doing the children's hospitals. I'm still visiting the sick kids and doing cosplay. So
Awesome.
if you want to see my outfits from the whole week and beyond, you can go on my Instagram at j.co100.
Yes.
Lots of costumes this week. So
Awesome. Is the hospital looking for any Ghostbusters?
they're always looking for people.
Yeah?
who
Okay.
Absolutely join us.
Cool.
Yeah,
Good
sometimes we go to hospitals. Sometimes we go visit like kids specifically that are sick, and like at their homes. Like the
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, so like some of them are like not sick enough to be living in the hospital, but the parents can't afford to do like a birthday party or something. So we'll do like a Ghostbusters birthday party,
Yes,
and we'll go
yes.
there and we'll bring Ghostbuster cupcakes or whatever, or
wow.
Disney, or
Yeah.
you know.
We're gonna talk about this. All right, guys. So some plugs from Magnitude Jewelry, our wonderful sponsor. In November, there's the Naval Expo in Tarrytown, New York. And then we have the Heart Freedom Expo in Chicago, Illinois. We'll have more details with those events in the next few weeks, I guess. And I want to wish everyone a very happy Halloween. This is great.
My favorite time of the year.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for watching, for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next week. Take care, guys.
Under the Radar is all new next week with more movie reviews and interviews on Strong Island Radio and Television. Stay tuned. We'll see you next week.